Okay, we're going to show you how to install the glass mount kit onto a door with a glass cutout in the corner. Now the glass mount kit can be installed in the middle of a pane of glass or in the corner of glass like here using the comp strips. These are sold separately. So if you're going to do a corner installation in glass, you're going to need a set of these. Go on our website. Make sure you order this with the glass frame. The glass frame is going to work on any of these scenarios where there's glass. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. The first thing here, since I'm in the corner, I need something for the glass to clamp to. The glass kit frames clamp to each other. We don't want them crushing the glass, right? So the first step is to install the comp strips. Now these are going to be cut to the size. You're going to order the right size for the door. They assume a 1-inch dado in the frame. So when you're measuring this cut, you want to be real careful, follow the instructions in the manual. I'm not going to cover that here in the video, but make sure that you cut the glass exactly to the specifications that are in our manual based on the depth of your frame groove and the size door or pet door that you're putting in. First step is to get these comp strips in. So I'm going to want to push that all the way in to the frame and then kind of shimmy it in there till I get it all the way in. I'm going to get 2 hands and then I'm going to push it down all the way in to the gap I have here. Just kind of shimmy it in there. These are going to be cut very precise. So once you get it, just kind of get it lined up and now I can hammer it down. So now that is in, not going anywhere. It's cut to the exact thickness. So when you order this on our site, you're going to specify the thickness and the length. And this is going to go in. Same thing here. I'm going to kind of get it lined up and then get it all squared and then kind of get it in there. So now I've got a nice frame. So this now is just like installing somewhere in the center of the glass. I've got 4 sides to work with that I can put my frame on. So now the next step is to take the outside frame. So the inside frame has the big hook, the big lip on it here, and the outside frame does not. And so what I want to do first is go around the outside, and the standoffs here face in towards the house. So I'm going to want to go around here and put this outside frame in where it's resting squarely in the frame. Now, before I go and mount this, a couple of things are important. One, you're going to want to seal this. So we recommend using butyl tape, available in any hardware store, on all 4 sides here. Just putting a strip of that up and all the way around before you go and press this on. That's going to just act as a sealant. You can use silicone or caulk or whatever sealant you want inside here, but you want to do that now. And if you're going to be installing an outside a pet door, the outdoor pet door module, in addition to the indoor, you're going to want to run the pairing wire, pairing cable through the slot here and have it coming out and hanging here so that it's pre-installed later, because the slot here is going to snuggle up right against this glass edge and the pairing wire is going to fit right through that slot. So let's say I've applied my sealant and I've got that here. What I'm going to want to do is just kind of tape this in place. So I'm going to just get some blue tape and just kind of anchor this into this position just so it doesn't go flying away on me while we're working here. And again, I would have sealed this on, so this would be pressing up against there. If I used a wet sealer, then it's going to be on there. The butyl tape is just what we've seen a lot of people use and recommend. So there's my outside frame facing in, right? Kind of held in place. So the next step is the inside frame. Now with the lip, this big lip facing in, again, if I'm running the wire, I'd run the wire through the slot, let it dangle out so I have the pairing wire between the inside outdoor pet door. I am going to want to seal this the same way with some butyl tape or some caulk or silicone on all 4 sides, just on the inside facing here, just to get that sealed up nicely as well. And then what I want to do is I've got 8 holes here for the screws representing the position of these standoffs, these 8 standoffs we have here. And so we're going to just position the inside frame on top of that lip. Again, this big lip facing towards me. And then just kind of make sure you line up those standoffs. They should kind of sit in place just like it just did right there. And it just kind of sits and holds itself. And just for convenience, I'm going to take a little tape, just so I'm not fighting it. So now I would have sealant on both sides. I'd have my pairing wire coming through. And I'm just going to tape that there so this thing doesn't come drifting off on me while I do some fastening, just to hold it together. All right, so now I've got my inside frame, my outside frame. Now you'll notice I do have some exposed comp strip here. You can paint that before the install. Some people want to paint that to match. Otherwise, it's just going to show a little bit. When you do put Pawport on, it's going to cover the bottom one pretty good. But you'll see still maybe a little slice of it. So if that bothers you, if you want in the install, go ahead and paint that beforehand. And then you put that in and you won't see any of that. Now, depending how thick your glass is, you're going to want to select the right screw. This is a thin piece of glass, a 1/2 inch, so I can use the small screws that are included. But make sure you use the screws that are recommended in the manual for the size or the thickness of glass that you have, because there may be a bigger gap between the standoff than I have here. But here, these are really clamped pretty tightly together, so I can just go ahead and use this. Now, just with your hand, just kind of shimmy that together. You want to make sure you're going to find that hole for the standoff inside here. It can be a little tricky to get these started. You're working kind of blind, but once it grabs, you'll be able to just kind of get it started and get it rolling. And once you get one in, we're not going to tighten it all the way. Once you get one in, the rest of them start flowing pretty easily. I'll skip one here and come down and do this one. Just kind of line it up, make sure they're grabbing, and you can just start screwing them all in. Once you go around and you screw all 8 of these in, tighten them all up. You'll have a nice tight glass clamp mount, painted or not, over here. You can go ahead and remove your tape. Your pairing wire will be in place if you're doing the inside-outside door combo. And then once you have your frame in and all locked in, all 8 are screwed, you can come in and go back to the manual for installing Pawport. Real easy to hang on, lock it in, and your job's done. Real simple. Let us know if you have questions.